Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be reacting to this video called How Much Money Do Twitch Streamers Make and Exactly How They Do It by one Harris Heller of Alpha Gaming.
It's like a known cardinal sin for creators to actually show how much they make, but I would actually really like to make a video on...
I feel bad pausing the video 7 seconds in, but I will say, I feel like it's kind of frowned upon by society to react or to say how much money you make in any profession. Considered rude to ask how much money you make, so I think it's just that's not exclusive to creators, but
on exactly how much I make. But that's a really scary video to make, so if you'd like to see me do it anyway, I'd be happy to leave it. All right. I guess we're doing this. Ever since the drop of Stream Beats last week, copyright-free lo-fi beats for streamers, by the way, available on almost every single streaming service, I've gotten a lot of questions from you guys about monetization and running your stream like a business. And I've been more open about my personal income than most people have recommended I be. So I've decided to take a step back and take the more...
I think this video is a little irrelevant now ever since the Twitch leak and everyone found out how Shroud made like $4 million, but continuing.
Responsible approach. And just literally tell you everything. Wish me luck. In this video, I will tell you literally exactly how much I make, where that money comes from, and why I believe I tend to make more money than most people my size on Twitch. And hopefully I don't lose any of you guys in the process. One more reminder, I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. So if during...
he does not anymore. He streams on YouTube, probably at the same time. So check him out there if you're gonna watch him. He's a great creator, makes great videos. If you're a small streamer, you've watched him at some point. Alpha Gaming.
In this video, you have questions maybe I didn't answer, feel free to jump in there and let's talk. There are 3 different levels of monetization that any streamer can go through. We'll call them tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, just for simplicity. Understanding these 3 tiers and how they work, especially understanding the top tier, gives you a little bit of a sense of like a path to walk. It really helps you understand how creators can turn their tiny little channel into a staple in the industry, like for example, Rooster Teeth. I'd say really the only streamer that is like fully broken into tier 3 is probably Ninja. Seriously, that's
Ninja's broken into tier 3 now. Back then, back in 2020, May 27, Ninja broke into tier 3. I think now there's more people up there. I think in terms of creators as a whole, Mr. Beast is definitely up there. I think that some people would say Ludwig's up there because of the subathon.
Let's start with tier 1. By the way, we're gonna use Twitch as an example here, but just know this applies to any streaming platform. All the money you make in tier 1 comes from being live or income that happens while you're live. You've got people giving you money with subs, bits, and donations. You've got some merchandise that people can buy. We can even consider Patreon and OnlyFans in this group. Slightly different kind of merch, but still merchandise, none the same. And then lastly, sponsorships on your stream. These 3 ways are the way 99...
Is he talking about Twitch? Because you can't talk about Patreon and OnlyFans as part of Twitch. Because you just can't make money on that. And like, as a Twitch streamer only, you can't make money out of these. So it's weird that he's like talking about a Twitch category, but then talking about external links.
And it's crazy how much this income can vary, not only from streamer to streamer, but from month to month. There was one month when Ninja had like 600,000 subscribers. That was when that month that he streamed with Drake. Keep in mind, subscriptions are $5 a month.
Never had 600,000 subscribers. He had 269,000, and then Ludwig broke it with the subathon. Just a little fun fact for you.
And that number is split between the streamer and Twitch. You guys know most of this. Given how many subs Ninja had that month and, you know, attaching bits and donations to it, I mean, he probably made over 2, maybe 3 million that month,
easily,
just on this form alone. Sticking in tier 1 of monetization is incredibly volatile, and it makes you afraid to leave home and not stream. I know big streamers who intentionally missed TwitchCon last year because they were afraid to stop streaming and lose that revenue. These streamers, even though they're large streamers, are still monetizing in a tier 1 sense. A well enough known like full-time streamer who maybe has like between 500 and 1,000 average viewers will usually have between maybe 1,000 and 2,000 subscribers. Usually the money within tier 1 here is like 60 to 80% subs. So if we do some quick maths, we're talking about maybe $5,000 a month.
Only Brits say
for
maths.
A full-time, well-known streamer.
Here's
and the reason that
no
in tier 1 merch and sponsorships don't do very well is because 1, most streamers in this area only have self-branded merch where it's just like their logo on a shirt, and only like the hardcore true fans who want to like wear someone's face on their chest are gonna buy it. And sponsorships on Twitch alone, they just don't pay out that much. You don't have quite the impact with an ad on Twitch that you can have on YouTube. And this is because you're streaming for 8 hours on end. What are you gonna do? Push something every 30 minutes? And even then, a lot of people miss the ad, whereas on YouTube, like every single person who's gotten here so far saw the ad for stream designs. You just have a much more targeted approach to ads on YouTube than you do on Twitch. Anyway, let's move on to tier 2 here.
If Dr. Pepper wants to sponsor me, I'm open. Like, I'm down. Just hit me up.
I feel like I spent way too much time on tier 1. Tier 2 is when streamers branch out to other avenues of monetization on the internet. I'd say the most common one of these is when big streamers like Shroud or Choco Taco hire an editor who take...
Why would you put Choco Taco as a big streamer? Surely there are bigger streamers. Yeah, 1.3 million followers. You literally, I'm looking right now, this whole list of people would have been a better example of big streamer to use than Choco Taco.
Their streams, finds the best highlighted, maybe 10 to 20 minutes of it, and uploads it to YouTube with a thumbnail. These are hit and miss. I've seen medium-sized streamers who can't get more than 300 views a video, whereas you get people like Shroud who within a day, every single video gets 500,000 views, and that is a ton of monetization. Diversifying your content like this to multiple platforms does a couple things for you. One, it just diversifies your income. Let's say one month you get a much smaller amount of subs. It happens sometimes. That generally doesn't have any impact on the amount of people that watch your YouTube videos, and your ad revenue will stay exactly the same. So one of your revenues dips, maybe you have 3 or 4 set up on other platforms and you're still making pretty much the same amount. The other thing that this does though is it opens up doors for better sponsorships. If you have audience on multiple different platforms with different styles of content, sponsors are going to be able to get much more targeted. They're going to say,
I think TikTok doesn't do sponsors as much. I think they do tech talkers more, where they like companies will send items and products for people to review. Because I think ads on TikTok, I've just never seen that before. I've never seen a sponsored TikTok.
We want to hit the YouTube audience. We want to hit the TikTok audience. Essentially, the ad will have a much larger influence on the audience, and your revenue will change from in tier 1, maybe being a couple $100 for putting a logo on your stream to, $10,000 to $20,000 for a YouTube ad. An example of someone who takes tier 2 to the next level is a streamer like Wacky Jackie, who, by the way, not only just streams super regularly.
Do you guys like this webcam angle? I think it's kind of annoying. It's like I see too much. Like I purposely, my webcam could extend out to this way, like could extend way farther this way and have a much wider radius, but I don't like that because I like being centered on the person more. Sorry, this way. Whereas this guy apparently enjoys having a full mic arm, and you can see his second monitor and for some reason a second keyboard that's tilted vertically. I don't like that.
Also uploads nearly daily content. And this isn't just content ripped from his Twitch channel and edited for YouTube. I'm talking original YouTube content. Doing this not only provides you a large amount of extra income, but it also it adds to your credibility on Twitch, which is why Wacky Jackie streams for like over 1,000 people. If you're gonna be in tier 2, I recommend you be like Wacky. But let's talk about tier 3, because this is where things get a little bit tricky, and this is where things get a little more fun. This is where streamers outgrow simple content creation and start to turn it into an actual business. For example, I mentioned Rooster Teeth earlier, who took the success of Red vs. Blue, which, by the way, I'm aware predates YouTube, but took the success of that single series and built an entire entertainment empire off of it. Multiple channels, production companies, whole teams doing just a bajillion things. Nadeshot's another great example, a professional gamer / really popular YouTuber who, instead of just continuing to make YouTube videos, has built an entire gaming org, 100 Thieves.
I think Ludwig's kind of doing this now too, with like, instead of just going live every day and looking at a monkey who farts, he goes like, he has Mogul Money, which is a big game show. He has Hive Mind with Moist Critical.
I mean, you've seen where he's gone with it. Let's do the fun stuff now, and let's see where I fit in all this. And just an important preface, by the way, the reason I'm sharing this private info about my income is because last week I did a video on multiple ways that streamers could monetize properly like a business rather than just begging their viewers for money, and felt like if I really wanted to put my money where my mouth is and actually be of real help to you guys, even if it meant adding a little bit of risk to myself, sharing this kind of info with you guys could actually do a lot of good. At least I hope that's the case. We'll see. So let's start with my tier 1. I stream 3 days a week. I average 400 to 500 viewers right now, and at this moment I have...
I know this year Harris Heller had a tweet where he said, accomplished in 2021, and flat out on the list was became a millionaire. So I know he's probably lost money from streaming on YouTube just because his audience is smaller and it's harder to monetize on YouTube from what I hear. But he's still, obviously he's doing better than he was in 2020.
This number is especially high for the amount of viewers I have on average. I've even had phone calls with Twitch where they've asked why that number is so high. I attribute it to this YouTube channel where my viewers feel like I provide them a lot of value for free, and in turn that makes them want to come to the Twitch channel and subscribe to return the favor. It's always been kind of a fun business tug of war kind of thing for me where, and maybe this is the pride in me speaking, but in order for me to not feel like I'm just a complete freeloader from this sub money, I do everything I can to make sure I'm providing more value for you than what I receive on Twitch. Does that make sense? For example, in the past 30 days, I have made $10,500. And so the question I have to ask myself is, am I providing at least $11,000?
For a 500 viewer like streamer, even back then, that's insane. Because 500 viewers is generally what you need to go full time, from what I hear. So I think the average 400, 500 viewer Andy gets like probably a little bit more than 5,000 a month on a good month. That's like double the average revenue. No wonder Twitch called
to my audience. And if the answer is no, then I've got work to do and I need to add something to it. And that's my tier 1 income. And that fluctuates on a normal month from, $8,000 to I think I've hit like $12,000 one month. I don't have any merch set up yet, but I will have a Stream Elements merch store coming soon. And I don't actually have any sponsors on my Twitch channel. All right, my tier 2 stuff. This is where things start to get fun. Let's talk about outer sources of revenue outside of Twitch and how much I make off those. Because $10,000 a month is an incredible number. I could live incredibly comfortably on 10K a month. But I have had months where I've been out of town for a lot of it, say for example, the holidays, and that number has dropped down to half of that, which is why I've set these up so that Twitch is actually less than half of my monthly revenue. So let's talk about YouTube. In the last 4 weeks, the YouTube channel has reached 1.1 million views and has generated $4,500 in ad revenue. And while yes, that's only half of what my Twitch channel makes, my YouTube channel is incredibly marketable and sponsorships are worth quite a lot. And I would say that's because of a combination of two things. One, you guys come to this channel for advice, not just entertainment, which means if I say, hey, I really like this product, you're more likely to actually go out and buy it. Which brings me to number 2, I'm incredibly picky with the companies that I do sponsorships with. I've never given a biased review just because someone paid me for it. I turn down a lot of well-paying but iffy sponsorships because that trust between me and you is incredibly valuable. And while I can't talk specifically about how much any individual sponsorship has made me, I can say on a normal month, I will probably make about $5,000 in sponsorship revenue. On a good month, where maybe I have a couple of them lined up, it can get up to $20,000. Also of importance, I focus on 3 main social media platforms right now: Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. Often what I'll do is I will bundle those together to, again, increase the value of a sponsorship. Whether that means adding a tweet to a sponsorship because my Twitter engagement is very high, or a lot of advertisers also know that if I post a video on something, I will often talk about it a lot in the next couple streams, and mentioning that also.
Well, I think that's true. You'll talk about the next couple of streams, but that's such a fraction of what you make. Because if he averages 500 viewers, but his videos get 100,000 views, like that, I don't think if I was a sponsor, that wouldn't come into consideration for me. I wouldn't be like, well, this video probably will get around 100,000 views, and then through the next stream, he'll probably get another 500, 800 views because of unique viewers. I would just think like that wouldn't come into play for me if I was a sponsor, but not a sponsor, so maybe it does.
Increases the rate in general. Another big revenue maker for me is Amazon Associates links. So if I ever do a video review on a product, or I talk about a build or anything where I have links to the products down below, they are Amazon affiliate links. Sorry, Amazon associate links. I don't like that they call it associates. I have to think about it every time I say it. But depending on what the product is that you purchase, I can make anywhere from 2% on a product to even up to 10% on whatever you buy. I've also created bundles on a website called kit.co. Those are also linked in the description down below. There's a beginning streamer bundle, an advanced streamer bundle, and then my personal streaming rig bundle. I think just about any device in these kits are Amazon links. And I am pretty sure that I have like one of the most viewed kit accounts. Every single one of these bundles has over 500,000 views. One of them is like reaching 1 million.
That makes sense because if he doesn't, since his whole thing is kind of based around tech or like gear, it makes more sense that he'd have equipment than a lot of other creators. So I'm not surprised.
And I think I haven't looked at it in a while. We'll make anywhere from $4,500 to $6,000 a month on these Amazon links. Great, that's the majority of it so far. The thing with tier 3 that makes it different than 1 and 2, you can start at tier 2 if you want. It's a lot of work. That's what I did. I started on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, and it's honestly what I attribute my incredibly fast Twitch growth to. But tier 3 as a content creator often doesn't work until you have the validity of success. 100 Thieves would have just been another tiny org that you see all over the place if Nadeshot hadn't put in the time and become a very successful content creator. And Rooster Teeth would be absolutely nothing without Red versus Blue. But a mistake that a lot of people make when they try to transition into tier 3, the business ownership world as they they leave behind tier 1 and tier 2. They think that it's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, like stepping stones. You move from one to the next, when in reality, it's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Each one expands upon the prior tiers and it still encompasses it. I mean, Red versus Blue, as far as I know, is still going in its like 17th season, and Nadeshot is still making just as much content as ever. And being real, if
Nadeshot does not make that much content.
he stopped one day, 100 Thieves would suffer. Now, I'm not quite at a place where I can do something of the scale of 100 Thieves. Keep in mind, Nadeshot had like 2 to 3 million subscribers when he started that. I still have quite a ways to grow. However, my content on this YouTube channel has been all about explaining to you guys streaming solutions, whether it's PC parts, social media strategies, whatever. And so I decided to release a solution of my own that I felt was incredibly important and missing in the market. And last week, I released StreamBeats. I saw a very serious need for easy and free music that streamers could play on their stream without having any fear of copyright strikes. So I found a producer. We made 180 tracks. 120 of them are live right now, with 60 more coming out the next week or two. And from a business standpoint, it's been incredible. You guys get free, easy, copyright-free music on a streaming service that you're already paying for. And while you're using it in the background of your streams, I'm making streaming royalties. And while I won't get the exact numbers of how much I'll make off this for like, I think a couple months, we can use the information on the internet to make some estimates. So today, StreamBeats got about 150,000 plays across.
On the first week of release? That's crazy. He must have done some insane marketing to get it out there.
If you kind of average out what all the different platforms pay per play while putting a little bit more emphasis on Spotify, because 70% of my audience is on Spotify, I will make about a half of a penny per play, which would make me about $750 a day. And if you multiply that by 30, that makes about $22,500 a month, which means that adding everything up, the lowest I generally make in a month is like 44,000, and the highest I can make is up to like 65,000 right now.
So I made over 100K. I thought you made over 100K.
Yeah, there goes all my Twitch subs. That was fun. I genuinely hope this is of some...
Check out the comment section. I think that's about it for the video. Check out Harris Heller on Alpha Gaming. He also has his own personal channel where he streams. Let's look at some of the comments. It only bothers people when flexing their money. You definitely are. Thank you for the invite. Don't be afraid. Fear not, Harris. We'll still be there for you. I'm subbing to your Twitcher right now. Don't worry, Harris. I'm on my way. I'm on my way, Harris. Just hold on a little bit longer. Yeah, now he's 1 year ago, 150,000 a month. That's crazy. It's so much money.